Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about a small coin that carries a big story, the 1-cent coin of 1984. Do not let its tiny size fool you because this coin has a deep history, hidden treasures in its variations, and an important place in American coinage. If you are a collector, a history lover, or just someone curious about pennies, this video will give you everything you need to know about the 1984 1-cent coin, its history, its value, and its worth in circulation. The 1984 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln cent series, one of the most iconic and longest-running coin series in the history of the United States. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side features the famous portrait of Lincoln, which still remains on the penny today. By 1982, a big change occurred in the composition of the cent. Before that, cents were mostly made of copper. But due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a cheaper material. From 1982 onwards, pennies were struck with a core of zinc and coated with a thin layer of copper, making the modern penny much lighter than its predecessors. The 1984 penny is one of those newer zinc-based coins, weighing only 2.5 grams. The obverse shows Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty and the date 1984. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 until 2008. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Around it are the inscriptions United States of America and 1 cent, along with the motto, E pluribus unum. The United penny was struck in very high numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 8 billion coins, while the Denver Mint produced more than 5 billion with the D Mint mark. Combined, over 13 billion 1-cent coins were minted in 1984. This means that many of them are still out there in circulation today. Because of the huge mintage, most 1984 pennies are considered common. You might even find one in your pocket change. However, as with many coins, condition, rarity of errors, and mint marks can make a big difference in value. For most circulated 1984 pennies, the value is still just 1 cent. However, if you find one in uncirculated or mint condition, it can be worth more. In brilliant uncirculated condition, collectors often pay between 20 cents and a couple of dollars depending on the grade. The real excitement comes from rare error coins. One of the most famous errors from 1984 is the doubled die obverse. This variety shows strong doubling on Lincoln's ear, giving it what collectors call the extra ear effect. If you find a genuine 1984 doubled die penny, it can sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on condition. High-grade examples have been known to reach over $1,000 at auction. Another factor is proof coins. The San Francisco Mint struck proof versions of the 1984 penny for collectors, with a shiny mirror-like finish. These proof coins can range from a couple of dollars to much more if graded highly. Let us step back and look at the big picture. With over 13 billion pennies produced in 1984, if you added them all together at face value, that equals more than $130 million worth of 1-cent coins. Imagine that. Tiny pennies that most people overlook add up to a massive fortune when counted in circulation, and here is the interesting part. Because the metal composition of a post-1982 penny is mostly zinc with a thin copper plating, its melt value is less than its face value. That means the metal inside is not worth a cent, but the coin itself is still legal tender. This is one reason why billions of pennies remain in everyday use. So the 1984 1-cent coin may seem ordinary, but it carries with it the history of a design that dates back to 1909, a change in composition that shaped the modern penny, and a place in the hearts of collectors thanks to rare errors like the double die variety. Most of them are worth only a cent, but in high grade or with special errors, they can be worth much more. And when you consider the billions minted, together they represent a massive sum of money in circulation. Next time you come across a penny from 1984, take a closer look. It might just be a rare error coin hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1984 penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin stories and values. Your support helps us bring you more history and hidden treasures from the world of coins.